Next news story. This is DNYUZ or some bullshit like that. America's toxic gun culture. I think this was linked to the New York Times article originally, though, on RCP. And it's talking about how America has too many guns. Americans are ammosexual. Law enforcement's really scared. Even though the U.S. Sheriff's Association constantly comes out and argues against gun control, just to be clear, the elected law enforcement in the country is very much in favor of people owning more guns because it helps them with their job. Imagine that you're like some small town sheriff and you get the call. Oh, there's a robbery in progress. Ah, shit. Well, I have to go deal with someone who very well might try to shoot me. But then I arrive and I find that they're already injured or dead on the ground and disarmed because some, cowboy citizen pulled out their .357. My job just got a whole lot easier. I don't have to file as much paperwork. I don't have to kill or injure them, which means that my job's not on the line. They're already fucking injured or dead. The citizen took care of it. I'm not in any danger. Works for me. The only groups that are involved with policing in the United States that are actually anti-gun, other than the federal law enforcement apparatus, which is horseshit and shouldn't exist anyway, are like Metro cops, groups that are unionized, number one, and run by leaders, number two, that are effectively, they're not actually cops. They're like commissioners and shit. They're bureaucrats. Well, they're anti-gun. They argue against it. Politicians who live in gated communities with their own private security or penthouses with their own guards, they want to take your guns away. Meanwhile, small town politicians, some local mayor or something, they're ambivalent on the issue. I wonder why. Gun crime in the United States. Well, let's look first at the flawed statistics. Gun deaths and gun crimes are often conflated, and they're used interchangeably by the legacy media. This is bad math. This is fuzzy math, to be clear. Gun deaths, a third of them are suicide. So it's a single actor. They are the only person. They're the only casualty. Suicide or attempted suicide. They shoot themselves. In a large number of other cases, it's accidental discharge, hunting accidents, negligence of some sort. Between that and suicide, you've got most of the gun deaths in the United States, just to be clear. An overwhelming plurality of the remnant, which is already a minority of the gun deaths, is gang-related, inner city and gun-related. It relates to inner city street gangs, often drug-related. You could wipe out gun crime and gun deaths in the United States with a few simple measures. More mental health spending, yes, that's one social program I actually believe in. Bring back the asylums, number one, and try to reach, especially minors, people who are tweens, teens and stuff, try to break the cycle of brokenness that has infested our inner cities now for nigh on 100 years. If you can break that cycle, if you can figure out how to do that, there goes 20, 30% of all of your gun deaths. Many of the suicides, many of the gang shootings. Hard on crime in the inner cities. Broken window policies I don't believe in. I don't believe in 3 strikes rules and stuff. Massively higher penalties for gang-related activities that are actually meaningful. Kids spraying graffiti on the wall, that's not a major crime. Make them scrub it off, give them community service. Violent crime? Oh, they only robbed the liquor store. They only broke into the local bank or something. Some of these people are getting slap on the wrist punishments. There's your problem right there. That's why New York City went from being a reformed city that was relatively safe back to being a 70s style fucking shithole that's going to have gangland movies being made about it again, probably. Gangs in New York, definitely real now. That's what you do. It's all you have to do. You've just eliminated 30, 40% of all the gun deaths in the United States and probably a majority of the gun crime. Of course, suicide's not really a crime. Well, I think it's technically labeled as one, but it's can't really prosecute a corpse unless you happen to be the Catholic Church, of course. Look up that one, by the way. The time that the Pope put the former Pope on trial by digging his dead body out of the grave, putting it in its robes and hat, propping it up on a seat and cross-examining it. Interesting times.